her. I have 3 children in the form of dogs. One's a Chihuahua. One's a... Dude, honestly, I am too, because I took that dog, like, as in, like, no one in my family thought it was cute or anything. Like, that thing's so ugly. I'm like, I feel bad, you're mine. And that's how that dog ended up being mine. Courtney says she doesn't like that dog, but she loves that dog, honestly. She cuddles with it and whatnot. And then I have another dog named Toby and Haley. Those are 2 bear dogs, Australian bear dogs. Remember those dogs, because they're important for later on. Okay. I'm going to tuck in my shirt here real quick so doing what I do. Okay, alright, so Natasha, my sister-in-law, made me aware of the fact that you can buy mismatched socks at Walmart or something like that. And isn't that weird that that's how I'm starting my bit, is talking about socks and feet? But I mean, it is called an aggressive hangnail, so you guys are gonna have to get used to the fact when I'm talking about feet.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, anyway, Natasha, my sister-in-law, again, made me aware of the fact that you can buy mismatched socks at Walmart and whatever. I invented this trend. Don't say I didn't. I know I did, because after I got married, I was too lazy to pair up my socks. Instead, I just put all my socks and all of Courtney's socks in a drawer. It's a big drawer. It's not a small one. It's a big one. It's full of socks. Sometimes I like put on one of her socks and one of my socks, and sometimes she'll do the same thing. It's like a free-for-all. I'm not kidding. I'm not joking either. Like, see, this is her sock. This is my sock.
It's like night and day, man.
Yeah, it is. And then the moon too, because there's yellow on there. You know, the moon looks yellow sometimes.
Kind of like reflecting off the water.
Yeah. I promised myself I wasn't going to look at my iPad, but I just got lost right now. I was talking about it before, right?
Socks.
There we go. Yeah, so anyway, yeah, like there's a big drawer, big drawer of socks, right? And I know I invented this trend because before it was at Walmart that you can go buy socks. And again, the socks you would buy at Walmart that are mismatched, they actually have designs. They're not just random socks. It's not like someone just like, yeah, we have a short of this one and that one. We're just gonna put these 2 together and sell it. They're actually like design socks, but they're different. Yeah. Well, when I would put my socks on, and for whatever reason I had to take my shoes off, it's like the Nazi socks or sock Nazis would come out, because like I would be like taking off my shoes, and they'd be like, "Hey man, why are your socks not the same?" I'd be like, "Well, hey man, why are your sideburns uneven? We're all trying to figure this out one step at a time." He didn't believe me. He didn't believe I was really trying to figure stuff out one step at a time, because when you're 18 and you get married, well, when you're 18 you don't know a lot about life in general, but then you get married, you just don't know a lot about marriage, and like really trying to figure stuff out. Like when you first get, like before you get married, actually, you're like, and I'm not trying to sound mean. I love my wife, Courtney, she's my wife right there. I love her to death. I love spending time with her. But before you get married, you're like, man, it's just gonna be us 2 in that house. It's gonna be great, just us 2 all day, every day. After you get married, you're like, it's just us 2 in that house, ah! And, you know, and it's not just me, because sometimes Courtney will be like, hey, she'll be coming up with solutions. She'll be like, hey, wanna have a baby? You know, look, a little mini me, a little mini you, playing guitar, singing. You know what? Never mind. All that noise in the morning. Never mind, no. She backed herself out of her own proposal. I mean, like, if you imagine if all of America did that, like, oh, you're telling me if I eat that entire West Side Pizza in an hour, I get the West Side Pizza free plus $100. You know what, that's good and all, but all that cheese is going to back me up. Where is the pizza going to go when it's done Black Friday shopping? Like, it's the same thing. It's like, maybe not having it's like, oh, you don't want to, yeah, I don't know. You know, but yeah, you're trying to figure stuff out, and you start figuring stuff out, like your power bill, your car bill, another power bill, another car bill, another power bill, another car bill, and then you're like, oh, I gotta have health insurance here pretty soon. Like, you'll never know this, and you never will ever figure this out because it already passed. It's gone. You guys missed out. But Courtney had, and this is where the title came from, had a very aggressive hangnail. It was bad. Like, it was, oh, I mean, when you looked at it, you're like, do you need anything? Do you need a pillow fluffing, some water, amputation? It was just gross. But yeah, like, you felt bad for, I mean, okay, there was a pus bubble on her toe.
Ew.
Like, here's her toe, there's a pus bubble, like, right here, and then over here, it's swollen, and then underneath it, there's, like, another, like, right here, another, like, bubble that's not pus, but it's just a bubble that has its own heartbeat. That's not. And I gave it a name because it had a heartbeat, so it deserved a name. I named it Buddy, the most general pet name. She had the hangnail for 9 months. Like 9 months? Yeah. Why didn't you want to get it fixed, or why didn't you want to go see the doctor? Right, but we got health insurance, and then we went. I was there during the whole like surgery, and it was actually kind of cool. I'm not lying. Like, I went from being like nervous and like, Courtney, you gotta get that looked at. You gotta get your stuff together. To like, whoa, this is awesome. I was there, and like the guy, I don't think the doctor liked the fact that I was there. I don't think he liked the fact that me and Teresa were there at the same time in the same like little room. There was 4 of us in one room, and I was like, "Can I have the nail?" I was like, "What?" In the middle of surgery, he's shoving this like giant Q-tip looking thing that only has a Q-tip on one side, and on the other side it's just a stick. It's like a Q-tip stick thing. And he's like shoving this thing to prevent the nail from like growing back in that spot so she doesn't get another hangnail. I'm sorry, I'm like giving like personal information. Yeah, no, but like she's like, I mean, it's just pretty much all this like, I don't know, he's like shoving this Q-tip and he's like doing his thing, and I'm like, can I have the nail? And he's just like, what? Can I have the nail? Why? Mementos. I want to remember this moment. I want to remember the moment my wife finally got her nail fixed. It was a big deal for a 19-year-old married man. No, she got it fixed. The guy's like, he was like wanting to fight me for it, and he's like, I don't want to give you this nail. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, why do you want the nail more than I do? Eventually, he was like, here you go, sir. And I got it. People thought it was gross that I kept it. Like, I showed it to John, my father-in-law back there. Hey, John. I showed it to him, he was like, dude, that's disgusting. I showed it to Nathan. Hi, Nathan. He thought that was gross. I showed it to my dad. My dad didn't think it was gross because he's seen some gross things. You know what he said? He's like, eat it. What? Eat the nail. I'm not going to eat the nail. Why am I going to eat the nail? That's gross. Why am I going to? No. He's like, dude, it's your wife. You know you have a cool dad, like, you know you have a cool dad when you and him talk like, hey dude, and I'm the son saying, hey dude to him. You know, it's kind of funny. But no, he's like, dude, eat the nail. I'm like, I'm not gonna eat the nail. Why would I eat that nail? It's disgusting. That's gross. And they're like, well, it's your wife. I'm like, yeah, that's why I'm touching it. That's why, like, people thought it was gross that I was touching this nail, right? Well, they even thought it was worse that I was waving it around like a party favor, like it was like something. You're like, yeah, like, Jerice is like, dude, put that away. Put that away, you're gonna infect something. So, yeah, but like at the same time, my dad was like so like impressed at the fact that I was like not grossed out. He was just like, oh son, you really do love your wife. You're touching her ingrown nail or her hangnail. I'm like, bro, it's a nail. It's not a big deal. He was just so like Twitter bait about it, and I was like, you guys don't believe me though. If you guys don't believe me that I have the nail, I have it in my pocket. You guys want to see it?
Yeah. Oh, dude.
Oh my goodness. That's so gross.
Dude, are you touching that? Dude, he's touching the nail. Dude, that's nasty.
Don't eat it!
Do you guys want to see it? Here, guys. What's the deal?
He's like, whoa.
That was like her normal nail, and all that was like this grown in.
You can take a boy out of the country, you
gross.
can't take a country out of the boy.
Do you guys want to see the nail over here?
Yeah.
See it?
Be careful, one of them might eat it.
Hey, Devin. Me and you
We're getting that awful close to that $700 mic.
Mementos. That's my souvenir. Yeah. No, that's a little too extreme. That's like people like who have dogs and they can't let go of the fact that their dog passed away, so they stuff them. It's just weird.
Ew.
I love my dog, but I would never have my dog stuffed and be in the living room. So, yeah. Sorry, I didn't want to do this, but I got distracted after I passed it all around. Oh, I remember Nathan. He asked me, like, dude, referring to like the question like my dad asking me to eat the nail. He's like, well, what if it meant life or death? Would you eat the nail then? I was like, dude, I'd eat the nail. I'd be like, I'd get it back and I would eat it again and I would enjoy the whole experience. I'd pretend the blood was like ketchup, you know? It's just, I mean, if it meant life or death, why not? Like, exhilarating. Okay. Yeah, you try figuring more stuff out. Oh, that's not where I'm at. I like how I can be like lost and be okay with it, and you guys are just like okay with it too. Yeah, because I already did all that. Oh yeah. Okay, so that's where I was gonna go with. Let's start talking about the Bible here a little bit, kind of. Not really though. We'll talk more about Batman, because Batman kind of. Okay, so I said like if it was life or death, would you eat it, right? Okay, so let's just on the topic of death. Lucifer, the devil, has come to steal, kill, and destroy. It's not scary to me because I believe in Jesus, and Jesus is omnipresent. He can be everywhere at once. He can be right there, and he can be all the way across the world. The devil is not. Lucy is like, he's tired, okay? He's worn out. Okay, because remember, God is omnipresent. Lucy's like, he's running to get someone. He's like, okay, I gotta take a break. And then he'll be running, and then like let's say like if he gets to like, I'm gonna pick on Kevin. If he's trying to run to Kevin, he's like, boom! I imagine him like hitting a force field and being like, it's not Jesus. He always wins. He never lets me win. It's like he always has the upper hand somehow. I imagine him just like freaking out because like he never wins, or whenever like Jesus like lets him win, he'll be like, and even when I do win, it's like it all works for His glory. So I don't win anyway. No, I don't count it as win. It all works for His glory. I imagine him just freaking out, okay? But when it comes to like certain things that make no sense and matters to no one, like barely matters to me, like again, like the game Batman, like I feel like he has like that like advantage on me, like remember my dogs Toby and Haley? Okay, they're important in this story. Okay, I wanted to play Batman because like I didn't have a PlayStation after I got married. I left the PlayStation at home at my parents' house because I wanted my brother to have it because I don't want to take the TV and the PlayStation and the DVD player. I'm not mean like that. I just took the DVD player and the TV. He didn't have any way to play. He didn't have any way to play my PlayStation though because he didn't have a TV for a while. So it's okay. We were kind of on the same level for a little bit. And then I finally got it back after like a year and whatever months. It was like this winter I got it back. I played some Batman because that's the game that came in his new PlayStation 3. He's like, dude, you can have it. I'm not interested in Batman. And I'm like, why would I be? I'm 19 years old and I never liked Batman to begin with. But this is pretty much like telling the story of Batman all over again. It's called Arkham Origins, kind of, I guess. I'm barely at like 10%, even though I've been playing that game for like 3 months. I just can't get anywhere. And I'm going to tell you why I can't get anywhere. I'm going to tell you why I am at barely 10%. Do I get to play Batman, Courtney? Do I ever get to play Batman? Okay. It's kind of halfway. That's actually, no, it's true. I don't get to play Batman because the first time I ever get to play Batman, I'm like, dude, this game's actually fun. Like, Batman's like looking like Spider-Man because he's like zipping, and Spider-Man's one that zips, but Batman's like all the way over there now. It was cool. I stayed until 3 o'clock playing Batman. What kind of like 18, 19-year-old plays Batman by himself with no friends? Like, who's gonna stay up by themselves at 3 o'clock playing Batman? Me. I played Batman until 3 o'clock. Okay, the next day, Jeremiah, do you think I got to play Batman the next day?
Oh, sorry.
Do you want to know? No, I didn't. Do you want to know why I didn't get to play Batman?
Wait, I can guess.
No. Oh, no. I hate doing dishes though. I hate it. I hate it with the burning passion. So one thing I will not do, like, I could be like doing like I don't know. Let's just say the worst thing ever.
Scrubbing the toilet.
Dishes. Like just today or yesterday, she asked me to like get the thing. What is it? That thing that like the toilet paper? You put toilet paper on the roll. Fill in the toilet. And she's like, babe, can you get this for me? And there was like I don't know what was in there because it was like slimy. But I still grabbed it and I washed my hands afterwards. But if she were to ask me to like wash some dishes, I'd be like, I'm not gonna wash your dishes. Even though they're my dishes, I'm not washing your dishes. I call them her dishes even though they're mine. It's mean. It's mean. I'm a mean husband sometimes. But no, yeah, so the second day I don't get to play Batman because my dad's like, hey, we're gonna go cut some wood for you actually, so you are gonna come. It's not a question, you are coming. We're gonna cut some wood for you. We're gonna put it on your truck. And I'm like, guess I'm not playing Batman. So we go get some wood, and then I get home and I'm like, I'm gonna play Batman. But then I end up going to the bedroom for some reason. I'm like, oh, that bed looks so inviting. I'm like, bedroom. I'm like, I lay down, and then my dog's like coming up, and then I'm like, get off, dog. And then she comes back again, I'm like, get off. And then she comes up again, I'm like, okay, we can both share the bed, I guess. So I fall asleep. Okay, don't play Batman. Don't play Batman that day. Okay, the third day. Kevin, do you think I played Batman the third day?
No.
Maybe a little bit.
Oh no. I actually, I got close. I was gonna play Batman on the third day. Okay. No. Yeah, no. I didn't. No, I was gonna play. I got ready to play, but then I got a phone call saying that my grandpa had passed away, and honestly, Batman doesn't look like he's like gonna kick butt through like tears. It looks more like this like black wave doing its own thing, and then enemies kind of just like crumble beneath him. So it's not that fun. It's just like, why are they falling? Okay. Fourth day, and this is the last time I tried even to play Batman. Like I like almost tried punting my PlayStation because I didn't want to play Batman after this. I've not played Batman. I've not played my PlayStation. It's still in my truck trying to pawn it, but they didn't want to take it because it's one of the older ones. I was gonna get Batman together. I got my controller out. I got the TV going, and I don't know what happened, but I just didn't play because I went to the back of the house, and then when I come back, my controller's chewed up. My controller's like everywhere in 100 pieces, and I'm like, I know that was Toby because Haley's outside on the court. No, Toby, come here. And instead of feeling to play Batman, I have to go like, bad dog, bad, and I have to like spank his nose and put his like nose in the controller and be like, bad dog, and then like go put him in the kennel. And I feel guilty of like getting mad at this dog because he gets in trouble for anything. He'll know that he's grounded. He'll know what to do when he's grounded, but he won't know what to do to prevent himself from being grounded. So he's always grounded. He's always grounded, and then it's like I don't like. It's to the point like again I don't follow through because I'm just like, dude, I feel so bad for that dog. He spends his life in a kennel. He's not a bear dog. He's a kennel dog. But no, like he chewed up my controller, and you know what I do? I go to Walmart to go buy another controller, and they're like 50-something bucks for a controller at Walmart for a PlayStation 3. And I'm like, dude, do I really need to play Batman right now? Yeah, I need to play Batman. I got my fix in a while. So I go and play, that shows how addictive I am. But no, I played Batman. No, I didn't. I got the controller to play Batman. I go back home, again, I get it set up. I connect the wire to the new controller because you have to connect the wire to the controller and then like sync them together or something like that to play. Cause you can just... So I'm getting ready to go play Batman, and then my wife's like, "Hey babe, before you sit down and play Batman, can you do me a favor?" I'm like, "Sure, I'll do you a favor, hon. Yeah, what's up?" It's like if I can have a scroll right now. It's like first she asked me to do the garbage, take it out, and I'm like, garbage out. I'm like, hey babe, yeah. Can you, it's not important what she asked me to do, just know that it just turned into a list. Turned into a long list of stuff for me to do, and I did it, okay? But in that time that I was doing my chores that were appointed by my lovely wife, in that time, my girl dog Haley had seeing that same controller like being chewed up somehow, even though she was outside. That makes no sense. She just knows that. Yeah, she came in while I was getting mad because I was like, Courtney, can you please bring in the dog? That's what happened. For the sense of the story, that's what happened. No, she brought the dog in, and like it sucked because like she saw the controller chewed up, and then like she's like, oh, I guess it seems wrong, but that's what we're doing today. And right after I bought a controller, she chewed it up. Can you get this? She chewed it up, and I got so mad. Like I'm mad right now. I got so mad. I was like, no, how dare you chew my controller? I just paid $50, and it's like you ate from that one tree from that one garden. No, why? You're the good dog. And then, hey, hon, not now, woman. And I feel so bad. I fall out of all my anger. She was gonna ask me to like do something for her that was all because of Batman. Like, see how much time Batman wasted just right now? Like. It's not important. And like I mentioned, one of the reasons why I didn't get to play Batman was because my grandpa had passed away, and I didn't get to go to the funeral, which was sad. I had to stay and babysit my brother and sister. My parents went. I asked my parents if I can go, and they said no. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't ask them. I just said, do you want me to babysit Dawn and Jerry? They're like, oh yeah, that seems like a good idea. It wasn't a good idea. Okay. My sister is a teenage girl. Okay, when I was in like elementary, junior high, like teenage girls were mean to me. Like so mean. Like you know those like TV teenage girls that always have like attitude?
Oh my god.
Hey Jerry, what's going on? Dude, I just asked you what's up, Jerry. And I'm not even kidding. Like, sometimes I'll walk into my parents' door, Sometimes I'll walk through and she'll be mad at, like, something else that has nothing to do with me. I'll be like, hey, Jerry, how's it going? Okay, I guess it's... Okay. I like don't like sarcasm, and I don't like when people give me an attitude. I avoid it like it's a contagious disease, because it kind of is. Because once someone gets me on that boat, I'll kind of start like paddling a little bit, and I'll just be like, oh, I'll be sarcastic. I'll give people an attitude back, and it just keeps going on and on. It's just a cycle. Like, I'll give you a story, like, and it's not like I'll do it right away, because I'll let it go, because I try to be good and not do anything. But like my sister one time was like. I was listening to my iPad through the tower stereo at my parents' house, like Bluetooth thing, whatever. I don't know because I don't have one, and I am not up to date. And while I was listening to my music, I was like rocking out to 1,000 Foot Crutch, and all of a sudden I hear, "You're an overcomer." And I'm like, whoa, what's this doing? I don't listen to this song. Which, oh, you're an overcomer. I don't like that song. Yeah, well, and then it just keeps going on, and then I hear another song, then I just hear cover. After that song, I just hear a bunch of cover songs. I'm like, I don't have cover songs on my iPad. I don't like cover songs. I like the originals. Jerry, did you change it? That's a yes, right? Because just the other day that meant no when I asked you, hey, how's it going? You're just like, no, stop, leave me alone. But yeah, so she changed it. I'm like, okay, I'll let it go. I'm trying to make small talk because like I'm supposed to be there for them. Like we were both dealing with my grandfather's death, and like I don't know, like she's just so sarcastic, and it just gets to me. Like I was like 5 songs were being played, and all of a sudden I just start hearing like an advertisement, and then in my head I'm like, oh, this is the radio, or it's an app or something, or it's YouTube. Okay, I asked, is it the radio? And this is what she does. She's like, yes, it's the radio. And I'm like, okay. And I just freak out. I'm like, you know what, Jerry? You know what? That's enough. You know what? I was just like, I didn't, just like I am right now. I couldn't say anything. I was just like freaking out. And then I was like, you know what, Jerry? You always treat me like I'm so dumb and you're so much smarter than me. Well, you know what? Have you ever heard that saying that once you're there, I would have been there and back? Like, I'm not trying to sound like arrogant either. I'm not trying to sound like, oh yeah, like younger people don't know anything, because I know that sometimes they do. But I also know that sometimes younger people should like hold their tongue and not say anything. But so I stopped freaking out on her because I was like, you know what? I'm going to do something. I'm going to get her back. It's not something you should do. It's not believable, but I did. For these next 2 stories is what I did, is I got people back. And it kind of came to bite me in the butt the second time, okay? But yeah, don't ever do this. But yeah, I got her back, and I was clever with it. And like, you'll know that if you mess with me, like, you guys aren't going to want to talk to me after this. You guys aren't going to want to talk to me. But no, like, she was like, I was like, hey, like 20 minutes later, I was just like, Jerry, I'm so sorry about what just happened. I'm sorry for yelling at you. I know I'm the older one. I know I should have been more mature. I was like, I'm gonna run to Walmart. Do you need anything? And she's like, no, I'm good. I was like, no, I know what you need. Because she's a coffeeholic. She likes coffee. Like, she'll drink like 6 cups an hour, not even joking. And she's always shaking. She's like, she shakes worse than my Chihuahua. My Chihuahua will be like, my sister will be like, no, like, yeah, I asked her, do you need anything? Like, how about some coffee creamer? Because I know you like coffee creamer. And she's like, her eyes were like the size of like $50 coins. She's like, yes, coffee creamer, yes. Let's get some French vanilla and we'll make coffee. We'll make pots of coffee tonight. She didn't say we'll make a pot of coffee. She said we'll make pots of coffee tonight. That's what she said. I was like, we'll make pots of coffee. She's like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, and we'll rent some movies. Yeah, we'll rent some movies. Okay, it's on. We're gonna stay up all night. And then, you know what I did? I left, and 45 minutes later, she called me, and she's like, hey, where are you at with my coffee creamer? She didn't say like, hey, how's it going? Hey, I'm worried about you. You've been gone for 45 minutes. She's like, hey, where are you with my coffee creamer? I'm like, oh, I decided to go home and watch Switched at Birth. By the way, I like Switched at Birth. It's kind of a girly show.
Oh my God!
I love that show. It's a good show. It's on Netflix. But yeah, no, I told her, oh, I'm watching Switched at Birth. And she's like, what? You're watching Switched at Birth? What about my creamer? And I was like, you know what? You have 3 different kinds of creamer in your fridge right now. You have peppermint mocha. You already have French vanilla. Why would you ask me to get you more French vanilla? And then you have pumpkin spice, my favorite, that you wouldn't want to share with me. I'm not gonna go buy you creamer. You're being mean to me. This is me getting you back right now. And she was like so upset because she knew that I crafted like some kind of like plan, because like she knew that coffee creamer. Like, why would you go and like hurt me with that? Because like she loves coffee so much. I cannot explain to you how much she loves coffee. She will drink that over water if she was in the desert. Okay,
Oh my
she loves coffee. She would have iced coffee in the desert over water, and she would leave the ice and just forget about it. Okay. My brother, he's not sarcastic. Okay. He's actually really cool now, because back then he was just. He's really cool now, but he does have his moments. Like when he has his moments, though, they're bad. Like, I remember this one time. Like, okay, have you guys ever gone sea-dooing and then gone tubing on the sea-doo and then like there's a flagger? Like, how hard is it to be a flagger? How hard is it to be a flagger? It's not hard. Like, this means faster. This means slower. This means stay the same. Guys, do it with me. Faster, slower, the same, and then this means stop. There's someone in the water. You don't want to run over them with your boat. Okay, stop. Okay, faster, slow. Wait, am I doing it? Faster, slower. This is, I guess, okay. And stop. There's someone in the water. Like you fell off your tube. Okay. Well, he was a flagger. It's not hard to be the flagger. It's not hard. I was a flagger, and you don't need a boater's license. That's a cool thing. You don't need a boater's license. Like, you need a boater's license to drive the Sea-Doo, but you don't need a boater's license to be on the Sea-Doo and be like, yep, someone's on the water, yeah. Okay, well, I was on a tube for the first time this summer, and while I was on the tube, I was like, this is kind of fast. Like, this was a brand new jet ski or Sea-Doo that they just got that day. This wasn't my parents'. This was my parents' friend, Red, like, Sea-Doo thing. It was like a race one. It wasn't a normal one. It was a race one too. So it was fast. And I'm like, dude, I cannot take this. I'm falling off. Like, I am like this, and like my body right here is off the tube. Like, I'm not even on the tube, and I'm like this. And you know what I say? I'm like, and I can barely do it because I can like almost fall off doing it. I'm like, slower. Oh. And then my brother sees me like barely even being able to do a slower sign. You know what he does? He's like, hey, faster. Let's go faster, man. This is where he messed up. This is where it got scary. Is they were on a turn whip thing. They were whipping me. Like, I was being whipped, so I was going faster than what the Sea-Doo is because I was going like, whoa. While I was being whipped, I almost saw it. I saw it, and then my friend Cody was like, dude, I saw you see it from the shore, and I saw you getting ready to fall off. I saw them go like this with their like thumb thing, and then I went like I knew I was gonna fall off when I'm like underneath the tube. I knew I was gonna fall off. I'm just gonna get ready to fall off because I don't know how bad it's gonna hurt. If you don't know, hitting the water that fast is like concrete, and it hurts. It hurts a lot, and and I landed. And this was the second time that day. It wasn't the first time. It was the second time that day. I went, whoa, boom, and I landed right on my rib. I was like, no wonder God put Adam to sleep, because that hurts. I'm underwater, I'm trying to get up, I'm like, and I finally get up, I'm like breathing, and I'm like, oh, this hurts. Oh, this hurts. And I'm like trying so hard not to cry because I'm 19. I don't cry. 19-year-olds don't cry, I don't think, when it comes to like getting in the ribs. But yeah, I'm trying hard not to cry, but my eyes are like getting watery. But at the same time, no one can tell because we're in water, so I kind of try. At the end, I was just like, this hurts. And my dad's like, why is he crying? My dad didn't see what happened. And I was going to get my brother back. And again, don't ever get people back because it's not what God wants. But I was going to get my brother back because I was mad. It's like, why would he do that? I'm telling him to go slower, and he's like, faster. Yeah. I get him back the next day because we were camping. He's not expecting me to get him back the next day, and especially because I didn't get him back like in the morning. I got him back like in the middle of the day. Like, I didn't even have a flagger. I was like, here, I'll flag, and I'll just keep an eye on you on my mirrors, and, you know, I purposefully didn't have a flagger. Duh. We were going, and he was like on this for a while. Again, this means we're good. Don't change your speed, we're good. He was literally on this for like a good solid 10, 15 minutes. And all of a sudden I'm just like, "Rah!" And I just whip it, and I see him like, and he flies off, and I'm like, yes! Woo! He flew off farther than I did! I'm like, yeah! Man, do you see that? And I'm going, and then all I hear is like, hey! I hear like, hey! Come here! And I'm like, the thing that happened was that my dad didn't see Dylan mess with me, but my dad saw me mess with him. Oh. So it's like, in his eyes, like, oh, here's this 19-year-old son of mine just being so irresponsible. I come up and he's like, did you see that boat? I'm like, what boat? Oh. Hey, there's a boat there. There's a boat there. It's not that big of a deal though. Yeah, it is. He could have hit that. He could have got hurt like really bad. And I'm like, it's not that big of a deal. And I was just like, again, like we talked like, bro, it's not that bad of a deal. He's like, you know what, son? You don't have a boater's license, so if you get a ticket or something, you're the one that's gonna have to pay for that. Why would you do that? Why would you hit a young person where it hurts the most is finances? Instantly I was like, yes, master. And then my dad's like, don't do that. You should not have any other gods before me. Not me though. Him. I was like, no, duh. I had an attitude, but I don't like it when people give me an attitude. No, I didn't say no, duh. Yeah. So this next thing kind of came from when I was sitting at church. I wasn't really like paying attention to the speaker because he honestly wasn't just that catchy. But he had one good point, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna put this in my comedy bit because I've got nothing, and it's like 2 weeks away. I need to rehearse something. He was talking about like gaining weight and whatnot, and so I was like, okay, I'm gonna roll with this. And I asked myself a question. Is there anything about your body you'd like to change? Oh, well, God says you're perfect no matter how you are. And you know what? It's true, you are perfect, but you know what? At the same time, I know that sometimes we gotta work on ourselves, okay? Like, guys, if you're a guy, you'd be like, if you're after a while of working out when you're a guy, you'd be like, dude, I still got it. If you've like, you know, gotten out of shape for a period of time. Or like once you start getting into shape, you're like, you know what? You're a good-looking car. You got a paint job, and you got a oil change. No, that's left to work on. It's your alternator, and you gotta get new tires, because. And if you're a girl, you're like, look at that! That is gross. And what is this? Ew! I got time to get rid of that. But they don't acknowledge anything that they got rid of, that they had to begin with. They're just looking at what's still there, and that's how girls are. I don't know why. Like, you girls beat yourselves up. You guys are perfect. But no, like, I'm gonna tell you why I don't work out anymore. Like, I used to work out before I even moved here. I was actually pretty like thin and like pretty muscular. But I'll tell you why I don't work out anymore. Because I started gaining weight. Okay, well, it's actually like this. Like, okay, when I was born, I was really skinny, and then when I was like 5, I was really, really, really skinny. My parents were like worried, and they gave me this like medicine from Mexico. Don't trust medicine from Mexico. It was like medicine to like make my appetite increase. They gave me like 2 doses, and it lasted my life. I'm still trying to fight off the side effects. But yeah, no. So then I lost weight during like junior high, and then I gained it back after I moved here. And then after I moved here, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna lose some weight again. So I started running. And you know what, when you start running, you start like setting goals, and after you start setting goals, you're like, oh man, you start accomplishing them. After you start accomplishing them, someone's like, dude, you're starting to look good, man. What are you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm just working out. You're like, oh, someone noticed. It's cool. And then you start working out some more, setting more goals. You start reaching those goals, and then after you reach those goals, you start like again doing more goals. And then someone's like, dude, you are really like, you're working at it, man. I'm gonna start working out with you because I gotta lose my gut too, man. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, let's do this. Right. that's not part of my joke. But he's like, yeah, let's work out too. And so that one person who's supposed to end up at your house that same day to work out with you ends up bringing like 20 people, and 20 people at your house, and then your dad's like, why are all these people in our house, Devin? I invited one person, and I didn't even really invite him. He kind of like self-appointedly invited himself. I didn't say he could really come. I was just like, you know what? I don't know how my parents are going to feel about this, and he took that as a yes. I don't know what's wrong with him, but he came, and he invited all these people. Not me. And he's like, you know what? If you guys want to work out, go for a jog. I'm like, you guys want to go for a jog? And then, like, even though I'm the one that asked the question, someone else becomes the leader of that question that I had asked. Like, someone else is like, guys, let's go for 2 miles. I'm pretty sure you're joking, but okay. Let's go. So we're just like, there's just a group of like high school kids just running. And then this is where I realized that I'm not as good in shape as I thought I was. Because I'm running and I'm trying to keep up, but they're like way up there. And after about half a mile, I'm like, are they really going to go 2 miles? I don't know if I'm going to do 2 miles. I can't do that. No, so you're running, and then all of a sudden you're like leg buckles, and you're like, oh! And then you're like a horse that needs to be put down, but you're like a proud horse. You're a proud horse that doesn't want to be put down, so you don't. You're just gonna keep running, and you keep running, and you keep running, but then someone else is just like, dude, that guy's running weird. He's like, I was literally running with my arm going like this. I don't know who runs like that. And my arm, I was like, you know, I'm gonna turn around. And you turn around, and by the time you even get to your house, they already went the whole 2 miles. So it's like you lose. Anyway, it's sad. I'm pretty sure I have one more story somewhere about this. You know. No, apparently I didn't have another story. Sorry. No, I've done it.
The lids are awesome. Donuts.
Like what?
Oh, I guess I. Oh yeah. I was just saying, why go and work out when you can just sit on a couch and eat a donut? Is that what you were? Okay, well, I guess hopefully I was kind of funny, guys, but there is a serious note to all this. These stories over here about Batman and my wife's nail and socks. Well, actually not the sock one, but all these stories really came from like stuff that wasn't actually funny. I just try to make it funny because I heard that to make stuff funny you have to come from something personal. I didn't really spend a whole lot of time. This was really like 2 days worth of work. No, that's not true. But no, like, okay, the hangnail. Like she had, I wasn't exaggerating. Like when I was talking about her nail, like she did have a pus bubble. She did have like a swollen part and then like another like thing that pulsated. I'm not joking. It was gross and I like felt so bad. Like this one time when I was like trying to help her cook, like I was like, you know what? We never cook together. It's like you either cook or I cook. Let's cook together. Because it's not like we do cook together, but like whenever we do, it's really nice to cook together, right? And so we're cooking together, and this one time I go underneath the stove, and I'm like, I'm gonna show you this sometime. I go underneath the stove, and I go like this. I'm gonna get some like flat pans out, and like right when I open the stove, I barely hit her toe, but her toe starts bleeding everywhere and gushing out blood. And like it was gushing out blood through a sock. Like and there was a sock, like the white sock turned red. And I was like, I'm not gonna lie, like I was crying. I was like, ah! I was trying to be like, here I was like trying to be like sweet and help her make dinner, and instead I hurt her. And I had like a revelation, like when I have kids, they're gonna have like the complete like most like they're gonna have so much trust in me. And if I were to like ever accidentally hurt them or like give them like an owie, they're gonna feel so betrayed, and I'm gonna have to be like explain to them in a way that like a little kid can comprehend that was an accident. Like, how do you explain an accident to a little kid? Like, oh yeah, so daddy was clumsy and he hurt me. Wow. And then like me wanting to play Batman so much, I realized like, okay, first I wanted to play Batman, but then after my grandpa died, I wanted to play Batman so much, and then I realized it was just the fact that I was wanting to play that game a lot because I was really just trying to block out the pain from my grandpa passing away. And I was trying to deal with the frustration of having to like not be at the funeral and deal with like a stubborn brother and sister that they don't listen to me, so I don't know what I was doing there. They could feed themselves. What was I doing there? I don't know. And then I was like also dealing with like that story, like my brother not pulling his own weight, you know, like what happens with like one cell doesn't pull its weight? Cancer. That's what happens when one cell doesn't pull its weight. So it's really not funny that my brother would be like, hey, go faster, and I'm saying slower, because I mean, like I actually did hurt my rib, and I mean, I probably could have broke it or something, but you know, it's just stuff like that. It's not really that funny, and like, you know, hold on. You know, like, sorry, I just got so lost right now. Yeah, it's really like, yeah, these stories all came from stuff that I was really actually just dealing with. And then all this stuff honestly hit me all at once. Like I was dealing with the nail, and then my grandma died. And then like there's like several other things that I did not include in this bit. And there is one thing that I realized through all that is, and it's not something that is like, it dawned on me, it's just something I kind of remembered, is that I remember that when my grandpa got sick last summer, I remember being like, you know what, I'm gonna not talk to him as much because it's gonna be easier for him or easier for me when he goes. And then I was like, I'm not gonna call him as much. And the next thing I know, there was just this like separation between me and my grandpa that could have not been there to begin with. And then I regretted it so much because I realized, you know what? I don't know if my grandpa was ever even really saved. Like, I remember him sometimes maybe praying for a meal, like, here and there. And then, like, Christmas, he didn't, like, no, I don't remember him, like, going to church. I don't remember him reading the Bible. I remember one time, though, I do remember one time that he said that his own son was more important than God. And I was a little kid, and I was like, dude, how can you say that your son's more important than God? God's the most important thing. I was a little kid that can comprehend that. So at that point, I made myself a promise saying that I wouldn't stop until I knew whether or not a person was saved or not. And at the same time, like, I don't know. There's this verse in the Bible called John 3:16. It's pretty much like the gospel in a nutshell. It goes, "For God so loved the world, he should not, that he sent his son." Oh, wow. "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, so that whoever believes in him shall not perish but have eternal life." This is beautiful because it's just saying that someone sent his own son to die for you. Like, I don't have a son yet, but I would not be able to send my son to die for anybody. Like, I love all of you guys, like, to death. Don't expect me to send my son to die for you guys. I wouldn't be able to do it. But God loves people so much that he was like, I'm going to send my son to die for you. Jesus was like, I'm on board to die for you. And you know what? Some people are like, well, I feel so judged at church. Sometimes I feel like I don't want to be there. Or sometimes I feel like they don't want me to be there. It's beautiful because the very next verse says, "For God did not send his son to condemn the world, but through him the world should be saved." It's right there, right afterwards, saying he's not there to judge you. He's saying, like someone can be like, oh, like, God's not saying, oh, look at what you did, look at what you did, look at what you did. He's saying, I know the situation you're in sucks right now. I know it sucks terribly. But you know what? I'm here for you. I sent my son to die for you. How else can I prove that to you? Like, he's, like, okay, Deuteronomy 31:8 says, "It is the Lord who goes before you. He will be with you, and he will not leave you or forsake you. Do not fear or be dismayed." Okay, Deuteronomy 31:6 says, "Be strong and courageous. Do not fear or be in dread of them. For it is the Lord your God who goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you." I have a bunch of other verses, but someone told me not to read them, and I agree, because they're all pretty much saying the same thing. It all just sums up God's personality, that he will never leave you or forsake you. I mean, if God really was like saying, look at what you did, he wouldn't say, be strong and courageous, don't be scared because I'm going to be with you. If he was really saying, look at what you did, he would not say in all these verses. I got like 5 verses here saying, I will never leave you or forsake you. And then I have one saying, casting all your anxieties on him because he cares for you. It's just a beautiful thing that we have a God that loves us no matter what we do. It's just, we have to make the choice on our own to follow and just obey and just love God, because it's a gift that's just so free. And I don't really have anything else to say. I just really hope you guys have something to take from that.